Out in the woods where the tall pines sway, NCI's on the hunt and they're here to stay. From the heart of the valleys to the mountain's crest, searching for stories that time can't outrun. No rest in western North Carolina, where the tales unfold of Bigfoot's shadow and secrets long told. With a map in their hands and courage in their stride, they chase down the legends in the wild they abide. Oh, up in the Smokies where the spirits roam, NCI North Carolina feels just like home. Chasing the whispers of the stories untold, with werewolves and ghosts and thrills that never grow. Late night in the forest, the campfire burns bright, with the moon hanging low, all's calm and right. But not for long as the howls drift through. Bigfoot may be lurking just beyond our view. Native American tales weave through the trees, echoes of their legends carried on the breeze. From ancient spirits to dance under stars, to the ghosts that wander, leaving tales with scars. Oh, up in the Smokies where the spirits roam, NCI North Carolina feels just like home. Chasing the whispers of the storm.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is George Lunsford. I'm here for NCI North Carolina Investigates. As you can tell, we're down a couple of people right now. Our buddy Rob has having some issues with his eyes, but we're going to get him fixed up. Our brother Jerry is out with some kidney stones. I hope everybody will pray for him and let him know that, we want to feel better. And, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. And if you notice the name of the show, Surprise, well, it's a surprise because I don't even know what we're going to talk about. I'll go ahead and bring our buddy Tim on here and let him join me, and we'll get it going.
Hey, buddy boy. You doing all right?
Oh, pretty good for an old fat man.
I hear you. I'm right there with you.
Well, it's going to be a surprise tonight because I don't even know what we're talking about.
That Miss Rachel, she got it.
Okay.
She'll pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Well, yeah, between her and Boom Boom, we should be good to go.
Yeah, I think we'll just put them on. You'll just go off and we'll go eat us a hamburger or something and come back in an hour or so.
We can do that. Let's go ahead and bring the Boom Boom on. We'll bring Miss Rachel on last.
Yeah.
What's up, Boom Boom?
Hello, my peoples. What's happening? Well, I am embarking on getting all jacked up on the Boom Boom Cup full of, this stuff. If I haven't said it before, this Tack to Squatch coffee. Oh my goodness. You talk about getting jacked up. Since I just woke up a few minutes ago, working the midnight shift, I'm going to be ready to go here in about 30 seconds. I'm going to be through the roof.
Well, if that won't do it for you, you can go to my store, Lunsford Gifts and Things, and I got coffee with my picture on there that'll wake you up.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. I got 4 different kinds of coffee on there.
Well, I'm jumping out and ordering me a case here shortly.
It may scare you because I'm an ugly old boy, so that's what wakes everybody up right there.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Well, let's go ahead and make it a full course, and let's get Miss Rachel on here. Hello, Miss Rachel.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. We've got guests. We got people watching us now.
All right.
Isn't that wonderful?
I didn't know
curiosities.
I didn't know if you'd started out on the right thing. Evidently, Rob has changed the intro because that
I did that. I did.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Well, the intro he had already loaded. That's one he had changed a little while back, but I actually loaded it on right tonight.
Oh, okay.
I like the song. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about everything because we're going to have a good show tonight.
Yeah. Up at Miss Rachel's, between all the goobly gunk going on up there and all the stuff she knows here locally, it's going to be a good show.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and turn it over and let Miss Rachel start us off? How's that sound?
Well, I think instead of talking about all the weirdness going on up there, I'm going to cover some of the local tales. A lot of them from this area, some over from Tim's area. There's a lot here to cover, so.
That's for sure.
High above the rolling smoke off the mountaintops and the winding back roads and the trails of the Blue Ridge Parkway, old tales still linger, stories that never found their peace, from forgotten farmhouses, abandoned factory towns, to the shadowed hollers where some things still walk after dark. These mountains hold secrets tighter than an old church lady's purse. They also hold more than just history. They hold the unexplained. Tonight we'll explore some of these encounters, local legends, and restless spirits that still roam the heart of Appalachia. I'm going to talk about some of the ones just down here, downtown. Let's start with Jackson County Courthouse.
All right.
There was a worker there whenever they were building it in the early 1900s. I think it was 1904, that had a dispute with a construction company, and he died of mysterious causes. His remains are still buried somewhere or in the premises. There are glowing orbs of light that say to circle the courthouse, which is now, that's the old courthouse, which the library is in there now. Mm-hmm. Workers say they'll go in to find piles of books on the floor and flickering lights. That was also the jail there for a long time, too, before they moved it to a new location. So there's no telling what.
It's a multi-purpose building.
Yeah. Yeah, come get your library books and jail downstairs. Or used to be, they moved it. There was also the taxi cab murders downtown on Main Street, where a young newlywed couple, they were bashed over the heads with hammers that supposedly they were supposed to be robbed, but whenever there were 3 men on their way to work that discovered the bodies, the husband was still in his taxi cab and the wife was out somewhere beside Scotch Creek River. She was slowly dying from head injuries. There's a book. Yeah. The money was supposed to be still in his pocket, though. So it was said to have been a robbery going wrong, but there was still money.
More personal than a robbery.
Yeah. The convicted Robert Messer and Earl O'Dear were hanged for it.
I know some Messers. I wonder if that's any kin to Russell and his brother Robert Messer.
Maybe. There's a couple of books on that. I'm not sure what they are.
Oh, that's cool.
Murder on Scotch Creek or something like that.
I bet that was personal. I bet that wasn't no robbery.
I think so. If there was still money found in his pocket, that wasn't a robbery. That sounds like a personal dispute. There's also the Balsam Mountain Inn right up the road, where Sheriff Claude Green was shot in the yard in 1928. He was carried up to his room on the 200th floor, where he later died of the gunshot injury. Rooms 205 and 207 are supposed to be the most active with paranormal activity. Guests have had sheets yanked off of them, doorknobs rattling at night, what sounds like trunks being dragged up and down the hallway. Several investigator teams have gone in there and investigated that, and some of the footage is awesome. On SLS, they've picked up a man crawling up and down that hallway right there, like he was shot in the legs or something. It may still be the old sheriff.
Oh, well, see, I knew people that worked up there, that worked over at First Citizens Bank.
Yeah.
Son, they told me all kinds of stories about that place.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried to go to work there whenever I was a teenager just because I wanted to ghost hunt it. I wasn't interested in working. I just wanted to go hang out for a while and ghost hunt. There's also said to be a woman spirit that roams the hallways, which that's supposed to have been what the gunfight was about. It was two sheriffs that got into a gunfight supposedly because they were courting the same woman. So it might be her that roams the halls and comes to check on him. And there's a couple of playful children spirits that are said to linger around there too.
Yeah, I heard that balls and stuff would roll down the hallway.
Yeah, and you can hear little kids laughing.
Yeah, and running through the hallways.
Yeah, I think it'd be a neat place to go stay the night.
Boom Boom looks excited. I think he'd do it.
I'd do it. Probably sleep through all the good stuff though. You know.
Shh.
They'd be trying to wake me up. We're trying to scare you. And I'd be like, leave me alone, Matilda.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about getting the blanket ripped off of me in the middle of the night.
I think I'd turn into a Ghostbuster.
What's interesting, that's the point that is the most interesting to me is when the apparitions, maybe they're see-through or not exactly very bright and crispy, the outline and their physical features. But when that crosses over into, what's the word I'm looking to? Physicality.
Yeah.
It gets physical. Yeah. And then you like feel stuff or the blanket's torn off you like that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Rachel.
Let's talk about the vampires of Dillsboro. That was about 5 miles from where I live now. In 1788, Dr. Alfred and his family moved here. They were from royal descent, which knowing what we do about the royals now, it wouldn't be surprising. They built a home on the Tuckasegee River. All went fine and well at first, but the rumors started to fly when two very well-liked men were treated by Dr. Alfred for gout and then suddenly died right after of unknown causes. The minister flew in to defend them, saying that only God can choose when it's time to die, not the doctor. Then the minister's daughter died a few days later after that, so that's whenever townspeople rallied up their pitchforks and their torches and they went up to the Alfred house. They brought the Dr. Alfred and his wife outside, hung them in the yard, and then took them back inside the house and torched the house, set it on fire. They had a 15-year-old son. He was never found. He supposedly ran off during all this and was still never found after.
I would have too.
Yeah.
That's a no-win situation right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's still supposedly a dark bat-like figure that flies over Dillsboro that has red eyes. It's supposed to be associated with a doctor. Who knows?
I've been to Dillsboro, and I know a few people over. I can believe it.
Dillsboro is a weird little area to be as small as it is. I mean, it's less than half a mile long, and there's the Cowee Tunnel right down there below that. That 19 convicts drowned down there in the river while working on the tunnel. They're said to be buried on top of the tunnel, and I can tell you from experience that tunnel is very haunted. You'll get scratched. You'll lose things that are in your pocket. Your flashlights will flicker and turn off. It's just you can't go down there and not experience something. Every time I've ever been, we've had strange things happen. Then there's the Jarrett house right there in town too, which is said to be extremely haunted. About like the Balsam Mountain Inn. Lights flickering, doors opening and shutting in the middle of the night. Footsteps up and down the hall.
And if I ain't mistaken, Miss Rachel, wasn't they a guy, they're remodeling it, and one of the painters or something like that fell and died while they was remodeling it?
His name is Corey Ash. He was a roofer. He actually did my grandma's roof right before that. You've been up to my grandma's house. He did the roof on that, and then he was down there doing the roof on the Jarrett house. And I think everybody was telling him, because that's a steep roof. It's straight up and down. Everybody was apparently telling him that he needed a harness and needed to tie off, and he said, "Oh, I've got this. I've done roofs for years," and he slid off of it.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes one. So,
Yeah.
Now, Midnight Watchers there has interesting things about the Wampus Cat and the Raven Mocker.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to talk about the Raven
right
Mocker.
now.
we ain't gonna talk about the Raven Mocker because he's about Rachel's and he keeps messing with me.
I'm keeping the Raven Mocker entertained. Well, he's driving me and Tim crazy, messing with our cameras and audio recorders.
You guys, I don't know if I told you this Tuesday night or not, but up there at Miss Rachel's, how they keep taking the cards out of the cameras.
Yeah.
They'd taken the card out of my audio recorder.
Yeah. I
and
believe
slung it up under the house.
Yeah, and throwed it under the house.
Y'all gonna have to start taping them things in there or something so they can't get them out.
I went back and looked on the video when I put it up, and it was behind the wires. I had it tucked in behind it so that the wind rats crawling on it, a coon or whatever, couldn't get it. They had to physically pull it out from behind though. That's
no humans have been over there at all. There's not goats in there right now. We're going to try it again. We're going to try one more round on the cameras and the audio recorders before the goats come back for the year. And I'm done after that anyway. If this next round don't work, I'm fed up with the cameras.
Oh, Lord.
This Wampus cat, I'm reading up in George's book since Midwest Night Watchers brought it up. It sounds like the current woman I'm dating right now. The Wampus cat is said to be a beautiful Indian woman, and then she has another side to her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, WC?" And then Laura's gonna be like, "Who are you calling WC?" And I'm gonna be like, "I'm calling you WC, Miss Wampus Cat." And then we're gonna get into it.
And she's gonna wampus his butt.
As the old saying goes, and that's how the fight started.
That's
been nice knowing you, Boom Boom.
What's that, Rachel?
It's been nice knowing you.
Exactly. One of them days I just didn't come down off the mountaintop.
Boom, boom, boom. I think the world of it, but I think she can take you.
Probably.
Oh,
probably.
Lord. If she's like mine, she'll just wait till you go to sleep.
That's it.
Mine's tries that, but I sleep too light.
Well, I just don't get too close to cliffs when we go out hiking or up on mountaintops.
That's why you stayed back on the trail the other day. I got you. Okay. That's why you never got over close to the edge of the trail.
And why he always walks behind Miss Laura.
No, but she's not sneaking up on me. Oh, I hope she's not watching.
Oh, Lord.
Good stuff. Sorry, Rachel.
What else is there? Well, there's a ton here. Franklin was the site of the first EVP. There was supposed to have been a German scientist who just kept having dreams about Franklin. He couldn't get it out of his head. Had never been there before in his life, and he just packed up and moved to Franklin. And he was playing around with radios at the time, and he went over to Franklin and captured the world's first EVP over there. And he's buried somewhere downtown there, Tim, maybe even in Woodland Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go find that one.
Yeah.
And do an EVP.
That's actually where my daughter's buried.
Franklin's supposed to be a hot spot anyway because, of course, it's known as the land of the rubies, and I think it's all the rubies and the crystals and everything else around here. Plus, it's just there's been a lot of bloodshed over there in Franklin. Like I said earlier, it was the last surrender of the Civil War. Took place right there on Main Street.
And of course,
And
you
if
got
I-
the stud muffin over there.
And if I ain't mistaken, it was the heart of the Cherokee Nation too, the center of the Cherokee Nation.
It
I can
was.
believe that.
Yeah. And down where our church is, Burning Town, was from the natives because they had went out hunting and they come back and they'd burnt their village down. And that's how the name Burning Town got its name, was from burning the town down.
Wow.
You know, I've heard that supposedly we're in Niquosi Mound there at the bottom of the hill as you go up to Main Street on Franklin. That's whenever they had the kill all the Indians and burn the land that they walk on treaty. And they went through there and killed about 600 Indians, piled them all in a pile right there. And that's supposed to be where that mound is right there. That's all the bodies make up that mound down there at the foot of the hill. Then there's the cabin that we were talking about the other day as we were riding through there. It was a Native American cabin, and whenever the Seiler family, who pretty much established Franklin, they moved in there. They ran the Indians out of that cabin, probably killed them. And he took over that log cabin down there and just built a house around it. That's the one that they're remodeling right now.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the last standing, the original Indian log cabin is one of the last ones that is left.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the Cherokee and all, and they didn't stay in teepees. They actually had homes.
Yeah, they had log cabins and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, just the other day, it's been maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, they deeded all of that Kowalski Mound, or ever how you say it, they deeded that back to the Cherokee.
Son, I want to do one of those ground penetrating radars up there so bad I can't stand myself. Because I guarantee there's giants buried in there.
Well, you know, that ain't the only mound here in Franklin.
No, I know.
There's more of them down on the Little Tennessee River and down in there. And also, I don't know how I got off on this, but you can, when you float down the river, you can find where they would put the rocks up, and they would come into a point and they would take their baskets, and they would get upstream and run all the fish into those points, and it would run them into their baskets. You can still find those that are in the river left over from where the natives had built them. I can take you and show you 2 or 3 of them.
Well, over the Little Tennessee River, there's documented where, well, the Cherokee had documented where they'd killed, Choctaw killed a group of giants. That's why I bet those mountains got giant bodies in them, because they attacked a village of the giants there. They had them outnumbered like 20-1 and went in and wiped them out.
Wow. I wonder if that would be the one down on 28. It's across the river, but you can see it. I wonder if that would have been the one, because that would be a good place right there, because it's right on the side of the river.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Cherokee were supposed to come in here and run off the giants and the Moon-Eyed people.
Yeah. They come in, the Choctaw had come in, and then when the Cherokee moved into the United States, they pushed all the tribes out of their areas.
Yeah.
They took over. There's still a lot going on with the Choctaw and the Cherokee together.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
What are the Moon-Eyed people? I've heard about them before.
The Moon-Eyed people are pale-skinned, pale-eyed. They're supposed to be kind of like the little people. They're not very tall. They cannot see in the sunlight at all, and they're cave dwellers. They only come out at night, but not during full moon.
Okay.
Full moon supposedly too bright for their eyes. They're supposedly of
Interesting.
Welsh descent.
Of what?
Welsh descent.
Hey, that's
They were
nice.
supposed to have got here in like the 1600s. It was way before Christopher Columbus came over here, but they were supposed to have got here back whenever there was a civil war going on in
Yeah.
Welsh. They came over and settled
Well-
Alabama and Georgia and North Carolina right in this area. They lived in the caves and the rocks.
Cool. Good job.
Good stuff.
He's
Midwest
on
Night
board.
Watchers asked the question, was it Thomas Edison that made the first spirit box to hear the dead talk?
I'm not sure about the spirit box. I know the EVP story. There was a guy that gave local ghost tours over there in Franklin. He was a historian. He told us the name of the guy, the German guy that came over here and did the EVPs. I'd have to go back and look it up. I'm not sure about the spirit boxes though.
Yeah, that would make sense, though. Something to do with electricity. Yeah, there is so much to do with electricity and electrical. Gee.
Oh, yeah.
Connections. My goodness.
And
The whole story. Sorry, go ahead, George.
no, I was going to say Midnight Watchers brought up another thing about the Bigfoot Wars in 1885, about there being extremely tall Indians, warriors that could be considered giants. Yeah, they had if it was over 7 feet, and this has been pretty much the constant ever since like late 1700s. Anything over 7 foot is considered a giant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, all that stuff. He's got a book called 3 Days in 63. It's about an unsolved murder of Frances Bullock that happened over in Franklin. They still haven't figured out who stabbed her to death. But in that book, he talks about a lot of the local history, a lot of the other ghost stories. He tells about the EVPs. And I think it even tells where that guy is buried in Franklin.
Oh, cool.
It's got a lot of neat stuff in it. I wish
We
he
need to
still
go visit that grave and really do an EVP up at the grave just to see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be neat. There's one over here I want to visit too. The Witch of Caney Fork that I've been telling you guys about. She's supposed to be the only one turned her feet facing west in the graveyard. Everybody else, of course, faced east to watch the sunrise. She's facing west.
Oh, that's cool. That'd
She
be
was
fun to
supposed
find too.
Yeah, I'd like to go. She apparently still roams around the area and haunts up on, she is buried up on Balsam Grove, from what I've heard.
We need to start finding some of this stuff.
Yeah, and go exploring.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I
Kim loves
happen-
ghosts.
Oh, yeah. I happen to think of one, George. I don't know if you're Miss Rachel either one's heard of this one. And I just happen to think of it because I worked with a guy that told me. The Trimont Monster over here in Franklin.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
This was back in the early 90s. I was working for the county over here and worked with this man.
He's been having some bad problems with his internet.
And I
Oh,
froze
did you freeze
again.
You froze up. Go ahead, though.
But this is before any of my Bigfoot stuff ever started because it didn't start till 2008. And he said that him and his girlfriend, now this was back in the 70s and stuff, was dating, and they went up on Trimont and parked and everything, and said that they were setting up there and they'd heard the stories of the Trimont Monster and all this stuff. And they're, people just trying to scare you, so you won't go up there and park and everything. But said they was up there and said the whole back of his car went down to the ground.
Oh, man.
And they took off and come down and got into town to where they could get around some street lights, and said there, because it was dirt road up in there then. And when they got down there, you could see 2 giant handprints on the trunk of his car. So I'm wondering if that more than likely that would have
Been a Bigfoot? I bet it was. He froze up again.
Yeah, I was going to say, am I back yet?
Probably a Bigfoot.
Yeah, you can go from Trimont up into Harrison Cove where we have run-ins and research area, and you can stay on that trail and go all the way up to the lookout tower on Warrior.
Oh, and that's where they had the ram squatch up our sighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a
Ram
cool
squatch?
place to go explore.
Yeah.
Ram horns?
Oh yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Oh, Tim's got to tell you about that. Tell him about that, Tim.
I was actually coming out of the woods. I'd been hunting and up to my research area, changing my stuff out. And is in wintertime, is in December. And I was coming down the road, and these guys was cutting firewood, and this guy was going to move, and I told him, I said, don't worry about it. Just keep going. You know, it's late. I ain't in no hurry or nothing. So they was getting their wood and everything. They seen my truck and seen all my Bigfoot stuff on it. And they said, do you believe in that stuff? I said, yeah. I said, I've seen them up here and had run-ins with them. And he said, well, have you seen the Goat Man? And I said, no, don't know nothing about no Goat Man. And he said that both of those guys was together, and they was up there, and it's they do a lot of satanic rituals up there. But they was up there and seen this guy. It was standing up on 2 feet like a man, had a face sort of like a man, but it had goat horns coming out. And
Wow.
From the legs and all that stuff, I reckon was goat, all that stuff. But his hands was like hands, but it had the horns coming out and curling around and all of that stuff. And
That sounds like the Baphomet.
Mm-hmm. But I've not seen it. It's close to one of my research areas, but I've not seen nothing of it so far.
That's a lot of
Wow.
But that peak up there is the highest peak in the county, and that's the reason they go up to there to do their satanic rituals and stuff, because it's the highest spot in the county.
Got ya.
All right. You said you had some stories there, Boom Boom?
Oh yeah, just it's been an interesting journey for me when it comes to ghosts, because I had what you would call angel encounters prior to moving to the Thumb of Michigan. And I do believe, like Bigfoot or any kind of other cryptid, ghosts may hang out, in certain places more than others, so to speak. So I had moved to Port Huron, and I moved into a rental property that my brother owned. He's like, yeah, just, move in here. And I was moving to get closer to family. All my family had moved up to the, away from Detroit area up to the Thumb of Michigan. So I was finally the last to follow. And I moved into this old rental, 1800s build, in downtown Port Huron. And so I had a couple encounters. I heard voices first in the kitchen. Like, it was kind of like a studio apartment. It was basically just one big room, except I also had a bedroom, so to speak. But everything else was pretty much the kitchen, dining room, and living room were all together. And I started hearing voices. I used to sit at this counter, and I'd hear voices, and I thought I'd see things out of the corner of my eye. And, you just kind of, I didn't see anything, no big deal, because you look and then you don't see anything. Well, I went into my bedroom one night, and another occasion where I wasn't even asleep, and as soon as I get into bed, this cloaked entity comes moving in really fast, okay, and dives on me and through me. And I mean, it freaked me out. I jumped up out of bed like, whoa, wait a minute. I'd never had any kind of ghost encounter like that before. And I'm like, what the heck was that? And it scared me so bad, I did some praying. I'm like, doggone it, Lord, that shouldn't be happening to me. I'm a Christian, blah, blah, blah. You start ranting and railing. And then I remembered the Bible verse, that he will give his angels charge over you. So I prayed that verse, and I should look it up and get the exact verse. But so I prayed that verse, and the same thing the next night happened. But when this thing, because it was coming from like the living room into my bedroom door and was coming at me again, same thing. All of a sudden, a circle of angels appeared and dove on him and carried him away.
Oh, and that's cool.
Oh,
that is awesome.
And that freaked me out. Well, that ended the encounters there, but not too long after. So that's an old house. So you can pawn it off. Old house, old spirits. Hey, Port Huron's an old town. It was founded on the lumbering business. That's my last name, Sawyer. Lumberjacks, all that kind of stuff from the Michigan age of lumbering here. Then we had that huge fire. So you just kind of attribute it to all that. Old spirits and all that. Well, I moved just out of town to a place called Kimball Township, just outside of the Port Huron city limits. The next town over was called Kimball Township, and I built a new house there. And by this time, I've got my 2 boys and all that kind of stuff. And I'm there. It's like the same thing. I go in, I lay down on my bed, and all of a sudden I see, because before it was like a straight shot coming from the living room straight through my bedroom door at me. This time, it comes in the bedroom door. It's got to go over this way around the foot of the bed, and then it's coming at me. But on its heels is a white figure. So the black's coming in, and it comes, and it punches me in the chest like that. Just like I felt it with my own hand, that's what I felt from this cloaked entity. Then the angel, I'm supposing, the white entity behind it, tackles it, and they basically disappear into my lampstand. And I'm like, what the heck is going on in this Port Huron, Michigan area? Then we have a final encounter, or I shouldn't say final, but this put the nail in the coffin of the cloaked entity. My son came to me. And he told me, hey, Dad, I got to talk to you about something. And he's just a little guy. He's 5 years old probably at the time, 5, 6. And hey, what's going on, buddy? And he had even drawn a picture of it. And I still think I got that picture somewhere in all of our stuff of this black cloaked entity that would watch him outside his bedroom window. It would stand in the driveway. His bedroom window kind of faced the side yard in the side driveway. And this thing, he said, would stand in the driveway and watch him through the window.
Oh, wow.
And, oh, yeah. So, in my opinion, this was a very high-level entity to keep coming back. So that was it. I grabbed the olive oil. I went in the name of Jesus. I anointed the windows outside, inside, all the doorways outside and I in the name of Jesus, this thing up, down, left, right, sideways. And then that's when you gather yourself as a Christian and say, wait a minute, I know who I am in Christ. I know I've got authority over this kind of nasty being, and I just cast it out. And I haven't seen it since or heard from it since. So sometimes, you got to get serious with these entities. And that was definitely one of the most prevalent encounters that I've had, where something had so much, because I believe there's it's like ranks, like we have in our military. There are different ranked entities, and some have more power than others. And this one was able to transcend from the spiritual into the physical, and even to the point of me feeling it. And when he decided he was going to watch my kids, oh, that's it. You can mess around with me, but you start watching my little kids who are innocent, then I got trouble with you.
I heard that. Well, I guess since everybody else has told something, I guess I should tell one, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Y'all know about Helen's Bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and tell the quick version of Helen's Bridge. This is what I was told when I was growing up. There's a lot of different versions of it, but this is the version that I was told. Helen was up there. She was working for the main house, which is across the little bridge. It's there, and the main house is still there. Matter of fact, the castle over there. She was working for them as a maid or whatever, and they had let her live there because her husband had been killed. So her and her daughter was living in that little house on the other side of the bridge, just a small little, had bedrooms on top floor and the kitchen, living rooms on the bottom, just a small place. And she had put some food on to cook on the wood stove. And while the food was cooking, she stepped outside to hang laundry. And she was hanging laundry. The little girl was up in the, playing in the room. And she could see her through the window. She was doing laundry. She could see her through the room. Well, all of a sudden, the stuff on the stove boiled over and caught on fire. So the house, they was built real cheap and everything. So it caught on fire real quickly. But Asheville had a fire department, and somebody went to get the fire department while they was trying to help her out. And the little girl was still in the house. Helen was trying to get in the house and couldn't get to her. The men had come down from the main house and they're throwing water and, throwing water with buckets on the fire and trying to put it out and trying to hold her back because she was trying to get in through the door and she couldn't because of all the fire. And she looked up. The last thing she seen, she looked up and the little girl was standing there. And then you just seen this bloody hand hit the window and slide down. And that was it. The little girl was dead. Helen was just wrecked with torment and upset and just tore all to pieces. And they was trying to console her and they couldn't. They brought her up to the house, the main house, and everybody was up there with her and trying to console her, and the fire department already left. Nothing was left of the house. And they thought she went to sleep. So everybody settled down. Everybody went to bed. But as soon as everybody settled in with the bed, she got up. She walked back down the thing, down across the bridge to the house, and she was standing there. And they said she started screaming. And she went to walk away, and there's a rope sitting there, and she tripped over it. So she picked it up, and she decided that she couldn't stand not having her daughter anymore. So she put the rope on the bridge, tied it around her neck, and jumped off and hung herself. Well, they didn't find her till the next morning. And of course, that's when they did the burial and all that. Well, ever since then, Helen's Bridge has been haunted. You can go up there and you can see orbs. I've seen the orbs. I've seen the full figure of Helen. Don't make her mad. Don't make her mad. We made her mad. We were 16. We was in my buddy's Volkswagen. We was up there messing around, aggravating Helen, and she got ticked. The car wouldn't start. She started rocking the car. We finally got in the car and got it started. We rolled it off and started it. And we're going down the hill. It used to be a dirt hill. It didn't used to have pavement on it. But we was going down through there, and this basketball-sized orb of fire started chasing our car. And all of a sudden, we got down just a little bit after we seen it, and it caught up, and all of a sudden the car jerked sideways. Scared the crap out of all of us. We get down there, down at the bottom, we pull off on the side, and there's a handprint burned into the little tailgate of the Volkswagen car.
Oh my goodness.
A perfect handprint of a little girl.
Oh my goodness.
So my buddy takes it home, and he's freaked out big time. He takes and grinds it all off, repaints it, reprimers it, repaints it, everything else. And I go over like 2 days later, and the handprint's still there.
Oh, man.
So my buddy gets really freaked out and takes it off the car and throws it away. That's one of the many things that's happened to me.
That is wild.
How big was that orb of fire? About, you said basketball size?
Basketball size, yeah.
Wow.
And it was chasing us. We'd go around a curve, it'd go with us. It was like this.
Oh my God.
And all of a sudden, boom. It was like a giant just slapped the back of the car. It affected the whole vehicle. My friends were freaking out.
That's spectacular because you got me thinking about even when we were kids in the 70s, you weren't allowed to talk about this stuff. You're told to hush up or be quiet or people think you're crazy, whatever. And that's what I love about this show, man, and so many of our friends, man, we're just getting all the stuff out in the open,
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, that's what our whole thing is. We want to give people an outlet to where if you've had a thing, we're not going to call you stupid. We're not going to make fun of you. We're going to let you tell your story. We may ask you some questions because of curiosity, but that's really the only reason we're asking anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
more of a support group.
More people to come forward to us. That's what we're here for. I mean, we've all had stories. We have ghost stories. We've all had Bigfoot stories. I mean, there's all kinds of crap we could all talk about.
Yep.
That's just one of my probably 200 ghost encounters.
Oof.
Right.
My goodness.
You've got to tell them, George, about driving down the road.
Yeah, I want to hear that one again.
And what would happen.
Oh, after I did my little dance with death and passed away and come back, it was so weird. First time it happened, it kind of bothered me. It kind of freaked me out a little bit. But after a while, I didn't think of that. I'd be driving down the road, and if I come, like I was going down Balsam Mountain, I topped it and was started down, and all of a sudden I felt like somebody was there, and I looked over, and there's a woman sat beside me. She was all beat up in the face. Her clothes was torn, but I could see through her. And she had wrecked going down Balsam Mountain.
Mm.
And she was telling me what all happened. And when I got down to where she wrecked, I pulled over just out of curiosity. And I told her, I said, it's okay. It's okay. You've passed over, and it's okay if you go ahead. Everybody will miss you, but they'll see you later. So it's okay for you to go ahead and pass over. And she did.
Wow.
That happened all the time. I was always driving that road and pop up over here, pop up in the back seat. It was all kinds of. I have had people with half their face gone pop up beside me. I had a little kid. The little kid would freak me out because it actually jumped from the back seat to the front seat. And I was like, "You got to stop that."
Wow.
Tell them about the little feller that would at the cemetery that you would drive by.
Flip me off all the time.
Yeah.
As a little black man who had passed away, and they buried him in a cemetery. If you come to my house, you have to drive past the cemetery, and at one point, the cemetery is on both sides of the road, right before you get to where the railroad track is, which is a bridge. Well, I'd come home from work, and I'd hear laughter, and I felt like I needed to look to my right. When I did, there's a grave. The part of the graveyard down there is kind of an old area. There was an old black man that would flip me off every time I come through. He'd laugh like everything. And I don't know why he wanted to flip me off, but it happened over and over and over again. And I still couldn't figure out. I was like, why is this little man flipping me off and laughing? So I stopped at the church when I seen somebody there, and I walked in, and I said, I hate to bother you. I'm just curious. If I walk you to a grave, can you tell me who this person is? And it was a little lady. She said, well, honey, I'll do my best. I said, thank you very much. So me and her walked down there, and I showed her. She goes, oh, my Lord, he was a nut. He would sit on his porch by the road and flip people off and laugh. So apparently he was still doing it to me because they knew I could see them.
Wow.
So it was a trip. Finally, he quit flipping me off. He'd just laugh and wave. Because I actually spoke his name as I drove by. I talked to him one time, and he looked real shocked, and he started laughing like everything. Then he just started waving at me.
Wow. That's interesting. You brought up his name. Reminds me of what? Rumpelstiltskin? and then he
Yep.
stopped.
Yep. I've had all kinds of cool stuff happen.
Grace
Some stuff
Grace
not
said
so
you
nice.
was a medium, but you can't be. You got to be at least an extra large.
I'm an extra large, yeah. No, Grace, honey, I was I had died one time, and I was dead for a short period of time. And I come back. Now all that stuff's pretty much gone, except when I go to Rachel's house. Rachel's got a spirit over there that brings it all out of me. Who in the heck?
Didn't you say George Midwest Night Watchers was talking about Raven Mocker?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you think that's what's over at Miss Rachel's?
I really do. I believe with all my heart that's what's over at Rachel's is a Raven Mocker, and I think he was bound. I think that the young guy, the Indian guy that he killed, I think he bound him to that area because when he went down from the knife and pulled it out, he said, I really do not know what he said. He said something and he picked up the ground and threw it on it before it disappeared. That's why I think he's bound to that area. And I think that's one reason the Crows is over there to protect you.
Yeah, my friends.
I think they've got it. I think they've got him under control to a point.
Well, they're there all the time, and of course, I leave like cornbread and stuff out there for them. I've been trying to tame them and turn them into pets.
Well, they're protectors, so there's a good chance that that's why they're there. But man, that was an overwhelming. I mean, that was something I haven't experienced in probably 15 years or more.
Wow.
Because it just, I mean, that floored me. I was messed up all the way home. I had a headache. My chest hurt where the guy got stabbed. It went under his ribs. Between
You
his
know,
ribs,
at the same time,
and it's like, huh?
at the same time, I think I was back there talking to you about the camera turning off again.
Yeah.
Rob and Jerry were up on the hill far enough away where they couldn't hear you, but I think it was Jerry said that he felt like he got stabbed. He could barely stand up.
It was probably that thing.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, because he hit him with an onyx blade, and that's just really weird.
Didn't you say it was a black obsidian blade?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't know how much obsidian is around this area. I really don't. I don't have a clue. But they used to use it for arrowheads and everything because what you do, you heat it up, you heat that stone up at obsidian, and you shape it by dropping drops of water on it because it's really, really hot. It chunks off in pieces, and it'll be so sharp you can cut. I mean, it's like you could shave with it. It's just sharp.
That day, you, Jerry, and Rob all, Rob was standing there asking Rachel's mama if somebody had died there. And then Jerry feels the stabbing pain, and then you see the whole thing.
Yeah, I never even heard him say anything.
Yeah, and I mean, you come up walking up behind them. I mean, they was already there. And
it was a trip.
When we go back to get my camera that we had just left 5 minutes earlier, the cards popped out of it.
You think the Raven Mocker is what's messing with all the cameras and the audio recorders around there?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't have a clue. I just know that I just know he's there, and I think he's bound. I don't know what else he's doing, because according to Cherokee lore, they're kind of jerks.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
let's be honest about it.
We've been fighting
They were
for
bringers of death.
Yeah.
And they were shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have a funky squirrel over, that could be him. Shoot it.
I wouldn't know. I can't get the cameras long enough to.
I was going to say he's treading on thin ice because he keeps aggravating Miss Rachel's cameras.
Yeah, we have 10 cameras up there, all different brands. A lot of them are brand new cards in them, set up, ready to go. It shows pictures of us walking away and then they either get turned off, card gets messed up, something happens.
Yeah. No, it was definitely
Wow.
not Spearfinger. I can honestly say that. It was
Wow.
although Spearfinger has been in that area, the
Mm.
last known report of Spearfinger in this area was over at Fontana Lake on the North Trail.
I often wonder, this is just my own personal theory, if whenever the Indians were forced to leave here, if they didn't conjure up a bunch of stuff.
Well, I
Really
read an article the other day about all the stuff that happened over by where you live.
hmm
Yeah, there's no reason there's a big reason you got a lot of ghosts over there. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. I was reading, I was like, holy cow.
Well, all that area over in there was the Indian village, and then my family bought from where Western Carolina University was. They had all that all the way up Cullowhee Mountain, and that was the old Indian village.
Yeah, that's what I read. That they had all kinds of disease happen up there, and they had a big war up there, and
hmm
I mean, there was all kinds of crap happen over there. I was like,
For
go ahead.
Can I just want to chime in for all my Yankee friends, just to clarify, because I just had to learn this myself.
Oh.
But a Spearfinger is a fearsome, stone-skinned witch from Cherokee folklore who haunts the Appalachian Mountains, specifically near Whiteside Mountain. Known as a shapeshifter, she often appears as an old woman to trick victims, using her razor-sharp, spear-like finger to strike and steal livers, particularly from children. Boy, she sounds like a sweetheart.
Yeah, I think I dated her.
And then a straight line, Whiteside Mountain ain't that far from their property.
No, that's just right up in Castor, straight up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a lot of different stories about Spearfinger, about how they killed her and how she escaped and everything else. But I tell you what, this area, especially over towards Nantahala, you could see it over there big time. You could see her running those mountaintops with the Stonehenge and everything, the Stonehenge giant and everything.
We know Judaculla Rock's right up the road too, about 5 miles.
Yeah. And that's from the I forgot the name of it. Sukaloo.
hmm The slant-eyed giant.
Yep.
If she comes up to me, I'm going to be like, excuse me, miss, I'm here for the Bigfoot and the Dogman and that kind of stuff. You want to go talk to those gentlemen over there with your pretty little self.
Wasn't Spearfinger supposedly killed? She was said to have her heart in her palm, and whenever they stabbed her in the palm, she died.
Well, that's one of the stories, yeah. One of the stories was that. One of them was when she had kidnapped the chief's daughter and a bunch of the other kids. Well, the chief's daughter fought her off and escaped. And she was chasing the daughter through the woods, and she realized she'd left the door open where the other kids were still in her house. So she let the girl go and went back to catch the other kids before they left her house. Well, when she went down there, she went to her daddy. She was all, she was cut up, and she went to her dad and told him what had happened. And he went to the medicine man, and the medicine man had found a special herbal mix that could magically enhance their spearheads and arrowheads to pierce her skin. So the whole tribe of all the warriors of the tribe, I had all their stuff dipped in this herbal stuff and went after Spearfinger. And she was running from them, trying to get away, and they was chasing her. And the Stonehenge giant turned his back on her, and she cursed him. And he walked away and ignored her, and he rolled up into a boulder so that the Indians wouldn't see him. And they passed him, and they chased her, and she fell down in a hole. When she did, they all opened fire, throwing spears and shooting bows, and they pierced her skin, and they thought she was dead. They looked in there. She had arrows stuck in her and a couple of spears, and they thought, okay, we've killed her. We're good to go. Well, they left, and the chief got a weird feeling, so he said, okay, he took 2 of his best warriors. He said, go back up and make sure she's dead. Cut off her finger and bring it back to me. So they agreed, okay, no problem. And when they went back, she was gone.
Wow.
Dum, dum, dum.
Tough old bro.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the many. There's probably 15 different variations of that story.
Wow.
That
Well, now you know what to name this episode, The Legend of Spearfinger. Freaking me out.
That's the quick version. I think that's
Wow.
the version I put in my book.
Good stuff. Good
And,
stuff.
But yeah, there's so much stuff around here, and there's so many things happen, and I love it. I couldn't live in a better area except for Asheville. I hate Asheville, but if I could live in another area of the Appalachians except for Asheville, I would. I'd probably move out towards Franklin, to be honest with you.
There you go. Come on.
I like Franklin.
Franklin's cool spot.
Come on now.
I like Franklin real well. My wife likes Franklin, so I'd go out there. But I hate Asheville.
Very nice.
I'd rather deal with Spearfinger than pink and blue haired people up here. So
For sure. Any day.
I understand Spearfinger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the others are the real monsters.
Yeah, no joke.
Did I say that out loud?
Whoops. I hate that.
I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
Miss Rachel, you got some other story?
I'm sure there's plenty of other ones. Well, there's the road to nowhere down in Bryson City.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. They put up Spearfinger took giving you the finger to a whole new level.
Yeah, for sure.
That was good. Go ahead, Miss Rachel. I'm sorry.
There's the road to nowhere down in Bryson City. Whenever they flooded the lake to make Fontana, they moved the graveyard and were supposed to make a road to it. And of course, it never happened. It's just a road that literally leads to nowhere.
Ain't that tunnel in there too?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
walk through the tunnel, and the tunnel part's supposedly what's haunted. I know there was a guy that was killed down there a couple of years ago. He was riding his horse through that tunnel, and the horse got spooked, knocked him off, and trampled him.
Ugh. Ow.
I think
If
it's
I-
been. Sorry, go
if I-
ahead.
I was just going to say, if I ain't mistaken, and I was going to ask you, Miss Rachel, but if I ain't mistaken, the road ends right there at the tunnel, don't it?
No, it keeps going to a bunch of hiking trails, and somewhere there's a part of the town down there that didn't get flooded. And whenever the lakes roll low, you can actually walk one of those trails and go to it. But I couldn't tell you which one because that trail. I actually spent 3 days down there. Whenever I was taking that outdoor leadership class, we went down there and hiked all around. But I couldn't tell you which trail went where. But there's still a part of that town that's just abandoned down there that you can get to.
But I
Cool.
mean,
I'll take my wife down to that.
the main big road stops there at that, close to that tunnel.
Yeah, they've got a barrier up. So that-
And then all of that stuff, I think it ends.
Right, yeah, you can't even drive through the tunnel. I've yet to find the cemetery that they promised everybody.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. I'm gonna try to take my wife down to that. She's been wanting to go.
There's also Elkmont around here too. It's another little abandoned town.
Oh, really?
Hmm
Mhm.
I'd like to go to that.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
What's the deal with it?
It was just, I think after the Civil War, they had a railroad that ran through there, and a bunch of people went over there, started a little town. Whenever I think they got shut off from the railroad tracks, and it just dried up.
Yeah, that happens. Cool. Awesome. Good stories. You did well. Everybody did well. Y'all did well. Well, you just want to keep on, or you just want to draw it closed? I'm gonna leave it up to you. We can keep talking, or like I got tons of stories. So,
Whatever the audience wants to do.
all right, we'll give the audience. We'll give a few minutes here. Do y'all want to hear more stories about ghosts and weird crap that's happened to us, or do you want us to go? Notice see how I worded that. See. Oh, wait. Let's see what we got here. Ryan responded to your email. Waiting for your response. Oh, okay.
All right, thank you. Midnight, Midwest Night Watchers. I know your name. Sorry, I have now. Everybody here knows what I'm talking about on the podcast show. We have entered a new venture. I can't talk about it right now. If everything comes to pass, it will be a larger platform. And so I have been very busy the past 2 weeks. One of them deals, sleeping when you can, working most of the time. I will respond to your email tonight, my friend, but thank you for being patient. That's the only reason I had to focus directly something on the new business that is taking shape. I'll leave it at that, but I will reply to your email.
All right. Who's got another story? They want more stories.
Tim, you've been awful quiet. You got any?
I'm just waiting to freeze up again.
I know
I've got one, and this is a true story. It's about a red-headed stepchild that goes out here and blows everything off the light pole till they come in to get his internet.
I don't know if that'll count. I tell you what, I tell you another story that happened to me when I was younger. You'll love this, Tim. Me and some of my buddies was running the back dirt roads over towards Madison County, which you had to watch it back when I was younger because you run into somebody making white liquor, you get shot. But we was running some of the logging roads over there. And this was just it used to be a main road until they built the interstate. So we was running this little road over there. That was probably, I think that's 4 of us in the car. And we come around this curve, and there's a woman in a white dress standing in the road. Now, this is at 3:00 in the morning. There's a woman in the standing beside the road, and she's in a white wedding gown. So we stopped, and we got to look, and she had blood on her. So we jump out to find out what's going on, and she said, "We've had a car wreck. We've had a car wreck. My husband's not done in the car." So, we're young boys and we're all gun-ho. We take off down the hill to see where the car is. There's no car. There's no wreckage. There's no trees knocked over, nothing. So we're there looking around. Was like, well, maybe she's just crazy. We walk back up and she's gone. We just kind of laughed it off like, oh, somebody's playing a joke on us, We jump back in the car and we start going, and one of the guys in the back screams like somebody hit him with a 2x4. It's like, what is wrong with you? He said, look, and he pulls up this little piece of white wedding dress that's this long.
Oh.
Wow.
And he shows it to us. Well, by then, now we're all freaking out. And we get to one of the boys' grandparents' house. And, we're all, it takes a lot to shake me up. It really does. You guys know this. Well, I'm kind of concerned, and the rest of them boys is losing their stuff. I mean, they're freaking out. And I asked his grandmama, I said, can I ask you a question? She said, yeah. I said, was there a car wreck on that road? She says, well, honey, there ain't been a car on that road except for just the local people in a long time. She said, now there was one in the 50s. And I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. She said, this man and woman just got married and they was coming home, and a deer run across the road and they swerved to miss it and went off that road, and both of them were killed on impact at the bottom. I was like, oh, really? What did she look like? When she said, well, here's the newspaper clipping. And she showed it to me, and it was that woman.
Wow.
This is my life. My life,
I have got one that's sort of like that. I was going up to see a friend of mine up in Cashers up in Glenville, and I was coming around Pine Creek, almost out to Glenville Lake, and there's a house there, and in the yard there's a woman standing there, and like you said, George, she in white, but it was covered with blood. And when I went by, I was going to stop, just to see because she was at that house. And when I hit my brakes and stuff, turned around and looked, she wasn't there. But I seen her just like looking at you guys driving by. But once I got past her and turned around to look, because I was thinking, well, she's at that house, they can help her, And but yeah.
That's cool.
There's an old house right there at the top of the mountain up there in Cashers. I forgot the name of it, but it's the oldest one up there. It's a historical site now. I had been hawking that place for years and was waiting until the day whenever they had it open. Went over there one day. They had the doors open. They were actually giving a tour. I didn't know they were giving a tour, but I went and I walked through the house and I went upstairs. Well, they came through giving their tour. I come down the stairs, scared the tour guide. And, while I was in there by myself, I swear that I saw, as clear as day, I saw this apparition of a woman. She had her hair balled up on top of her head in a bun. She was about my height. She was wearing this old-timey dress, and it was just like she was rushing through the house to get somewhere, like she was busy. That tour guide, whenever I joined the tour, it acted like it startled her whenever I walked down the steps. She had no more than said, and this house isn't haunted like everybody thinks. And I thought, I just saw that apparition a few minutes ago. And then she took us around the corner. She told me, well, you can join this tour if you want to. Just go ahead and walk with us. She took us around the corner, and there was pictures of the family that used to live in the house, and they used to rent it out as an inn. And there was that woman that I had just seen rush through that house and go out the back door.
That's cool. Yes, you're right, Midnight Watchers. Almost every state does have a crybaby bridge. When I was doing my research for my American book, I found a lot of crybaby bridges.
Did I tell you guys my angel story?
I don't know. Tell us to see.
All right. Well, this is my most prominent angel story. So me and my buddies, I've got 10 plus of my buddies in a van, in a cargo van, and we're heading here in Michigan. One of the big things is going to Cedar Point. I don't know if you've ever heard of that amusement park in northern Ohio, in Sandusky, Ohio. But years ago, my late teens, early 20s, I was early 20s when this happened. It was just kind of a ritual we did every year. So we're all loaded up in the cargo van. I got my boss's van, and we're driving there. And, everybody's starting to drink, have a good old time. I hadn't drunk anything yet, but I'm thinking, well, we're getting to the halfway point. Maybe if I start drinking now, I'll kind of be tipsy by the time I get to Cedar Point, right? So just as I'm thinking that to myself, we stop off at the McDonald's. I think it's Highway 6 or something, Road 6 going to Oregon, and then on the Sandusky. So we pull over at this McDonald's, and I get my food, and we're inside the restaurant, and the restaurant's packed. It's a busy spring, summer morning. It's packed. There's people everywhere. And I go over to this one table, it's only 2 seats on it. And I go and I sit there by myself, and I'm eating. All of a sudden I look up and I see an old man with the bluest eyes you've ever seen walk up to me. And he says the one thing that could catch my attention. And growing up, I had a secret. That was my middle name. My middle name is Lynn. I never liked it because it's a girl's name. I still don't like it because it's a girl's name. And so I never use it. But this man walked up to me. And so I used to keep it a secret growing up. He walked up to me and said the one thing you could say to get my attention. And he said out loud, looked straight at me, and he says, "Your middle name is Lynn, isn't it?" Out of the blue. I don't know this guy from anybody else. And I say, here's the strange part that I still think about every day. I say, he says, "Your middle name is Lynn, isn't it?" And I say, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And he says, "Because mine is too." As soon as he says that, he starts laying into me about my Christianity. And somewhere, give and take, and I go, well, yeah, my grandfather was a Baptist minister and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And he lays back into me and says, now, you know that's got nothing to do with you in your walk with the Lord. And he starts laying into me again, and you better straighten up, and you know you're not walking right. And boom, 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 he goes right down the list. And then he smiles at me, and he nods, and he walks off. And I am stunned. And I knew this was a meeting God moment, okay? I knew I hadn't been living right. And he fades off, and I'm watching him walk off, and he walks over to behind all the customers are in line to the counter at McDonald's to order their food. And he's kind of standing behind them. He's got his hands in his pockets, and he's looking all over the restaurant with a big old smile, just like he loved everybody in that restaurant and was his own family members. I looked away for a half second. I looked back, and that gentleman was gone. He didn't have time to go sit down. He didn't have time to walk out the door. Didn't have time to be behind anybody. I looked down, looked back up about that quick, and he was gone. To this day, I do believe it was an angel type experience, but I'm somewhat tormented because he said that because mine is too. So I know God, the Almighty God, is able to look down on time, space, and everything in between, and he's able to behold the beginning from the end, and he's got all things under his hand. But part of me goes, was that me from the future? If he said, because mine is too.
Well, see, the blue eyes got me because the angel that I saw when I died had blue eyes that was just the most amazing blue eyes you've ever seen in your life. I still see them every now and then in my head.
I used to see one whenever I was a kid, bright blue eyes.
So there is a correlation. There is a connection there. Blue eyes, really. And I heard one other angel story about an angel having these bright blue eyes. Yeah. So there's a connection there. So maybe because mine is too is maybe because we're all part of the body of Christ. You know, we're all kindred spirits. Jesus, when he's talking to God the Father in the book of John and the Gospels, he says, you know, you and I are one. We've been one since before the foundation of the world. So maybe that was the intonation there. So, but, yeah, good stuff.
It could have been, Brian, that the condition that you was in, that was what he knew he needed to say to get your attention.
Yeah.
To get
I hadn't started drinking yet, but I was gonna get food in my stomach and then drink, thinking it was the McDonald's was kind of half point, stop off, get some food, start drinking until the point we got there. And so he stopped that from happening.
Yep. See, that's cool. That's a cool story.
Good stuff. Little intervention.
Awesome story.
Question though, who did you get the middle name from?
Well, you know, my dad lied to me, tried to make me feel better. He tried to outsmart me, but I held him to it at my 5 years of age when all the kids in the neighborhood was making fun of me because my mom would yell out the front door, Brian Lynn, get in here. And then all my buddies would hear, and then I was the butt of everyone's joke. So then I approached my dad.
No. George is the name that's hard to grow up with. Yeah. It's a pain. It comes with a song, you know, so it's just one of those things. See, I changed the song. I made it where it was right. Instead of Georgie, Porgy, Pudding, Pie, made him cry and all this other stuff. Then he took off when the boys come out to play. Well, see, mine's different. When the boys come out to play, I pull a 44 and blow them away. That's just me. Okay.
Man. You ain't got a clue. You are to have the last name Deals. Do you know how many things goes with Deals? I'm just saying.
Now Susan may argue with all of us because her maiden name was Banner. And it came back. She was old enough to where she was little when the Incredible Hulk was on TV. We met when we was at a show when we met Lou Ferrigno. and I had met him several times before, but she walks up to him. She goes, "You know what kind of trouble you caused me?" He looked at her. He goes, "Huh?" She said, "My last name was Banner, and I got aggravated. They said, but you is my daddy." He jumped up and run over there and give her the biggest hug you ever seen in your life. It was funny.
That goes to prove that even the Hulk knows not to mess with the Cajun.
Nice.
That could be true. That could be true. She got home that day and called the entire family and let them know that she got hugged by the Hulk. Well, guys, I think we've about aggravated everybody enough with this surprise show.
I've got one.
All right, go ahead.
The only ghost, and I honestly don't know what you would call it. I don't know if it was a vision or what, but when I was about 4.5 years old, my grandpa died. And I'm sure everybody's on here's heard me tell it, but I'm going to tell it again because I've eaten a lot of cookies and I still got a lot of energy to go. And that's the reason I ain't eating none. I ain't eating none during the show because I ate a half a box of them before the show started. But I was my papa's pride and joy. He carried me around and showed me off to everybody. And I can even remember him carrying me and showing me to the workers when they was building his house and all of this stuff. And he was in the hospital right before he died. And we was sat in grandma's and was sitting there eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. And everybody was fixing their plate, getting ready to sit down, and everybody was trying to find a place to sit. And I looked in the hallway, and there stood my Poppy. That's what I called him, was Poppy. I looked in the hallway, and Poppy was standing there, and I said, "Come on, Poppy, and I'll sit in your lap." And every fork hit the plate. And they said, my mom said, "Honey, Poppy's in the hospital, really bad sick." I said, "No, he's not. He's standing right there." And I seen him just like I'm looking at you guys. And to this day, I don't think it was a ghost. I go back to what the Bible says, that your young men will see visions and your old men will dream dreams. And I think it was just the Lord's way of giving me that vision, because it's just as real now as it was then. And I think that was the Lord's way of letting me remember him. When they buried him, it was raining and I didn't get to go to the graveside. I had to wait in the car and stuff. But me being a redheaded stepchild, I'd probably run all over the graveyard anyway. But I do think that was a gift for me to remember him by.
See, that's cool.
I've got his the last hunting and fishing license that he had. I've got his last driver's license and one of his knives and some of the last. They're actually paper shotgun shells that he ever bought.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's a good memory to have. That's a good memory to have.
Yeah.
What does anybody else got anything? And aren't you, buddy? I'm sorry. I understand that was probably hard to grow up with. And Midnight Watcher, I'm sorry your daddy had that last time. And I know he had a hard time with it.
Oh, the middle name Laverne. Oh,
yeah.
Ouch.
Woo, son.
Maybe that deals ain't so bad after all.
I'm telling you. Well, guys, anybody else have anything else you want to say?
Well, I forgot to mention the little church that I just went and investigated not too long ago. I haven't posted the videos yet because Tim just taught me how to edit the other day. It's a church in Smokemont. It was built, I think, in the early 1900s. It's super haunted. There was a little girl who her hair got caught on fire during a candlelight service down there, and there was somebody murdered back in 2015.
Oof.
And it's supposed to be one of the most haunted churches around here.
Well, that definitely doesn't sound like a nice place to be.
No, no.
Lord have mercy.
They still hold services down there every now and then. I mean, it's not on a regular schedule. But
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to go. Somebody gets stabbed in the middle of the church. I think
Yeah, that's heavy.
I'd have an issue with that.
I think there's been a bunch of satanic rituals down there too. They said that they found all kinds of pentagrams and candles and other odd things down there.
That don't surprise me. Yeah. People are crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Lordy. Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And Rachel, where can people get a hold of you?
Facebook, Rachel Jones. Snapchat, Shadows of WNC 13. TikTok and Instagram, Shadow Walker 111.
Good job. All right, Boom Boom. Where can people get a hold of you, brother?
Yeah, well, check me out at Bigfoot of America on YouTube. And that website you're holding up is actually going under construction. I'm not sure if it's still working or not, but it will soon be going under construction if it's not already. We got big plans, NCI team, Bigfoot of America, Bigfoot of Michigan, all coming in 2026, all going bigger and better, everybody. So thanks for being a part of it.
Timbo?
Well, I'm going to change my name. If my computer don't quit freezing, I'm just going to go to Freezer Pot. So that's going to be my new nickname. Either that or Flavor Ice. That way I can be a rapper and podcaster too. I got bride ticket. I love when I get bride ticket. But
I couldn't breathe. I just pictured a big old orange popsicle.
And that is funny, though, because the orange ones is my favorite. But if you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me at Tim Dills 13 at TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. My email is timdills13 at Yahoo. So if you need to get a hold of me, holler at me.
Cool. Well, guys, I'm also going to be putting out a list of shows we're going to be doing so people can come and see us and talk to us. And anybody has any experiences or any encounters, come and talk to us. We're not going to make fun of you. We're not going to laugh at you. Of course, if you start laughing, we'll probably start laughing too, because that's just kind of people we are. But we'll take you seriously. We'll believe you, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you. We'll even, if you got a good enough stories you want to, we'll bring you on the show. Mm-hmm. But remember, please keep Rob and Jerry in your prayers so they'll get better. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can check me out. I'm on a lot of the social media stuff. You can either find me under George Lunsford or author George Lunsford. You can go to Amazon and check out my books. I got 4 on there now. And you can go to my website, authorgeorgelunsford.x10host.com. Man, we are getting all kinds of things popping up on the side over here.
Mm-hmm. Did you say the one that said over here? What's up? Did you say the one that said Dreamsicle?
I did.
That's because it's orange on the outside and white in the middle.
Wait a minute. Does the Dreamsicle go around with the stud muffin? That's kind of go together there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey.
He said, hey, and froze.
Look at that. Look at how he's frozen. That's funny.
Well, guys, let's go ahead and let Vincent take over, and hope everybody has a good night. Y'all behave, be good, and as Robert would say, be pretty.
Peace.
Come on, Vincent, talk to us.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and and grizzled ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the Thriller.